Welcome into Tennessee Titans today. I am Tom Downey. On today's show, we're looking at some more trade rumors and targets for Tennessee. With the trade deadline less than 24 hours away, it's always way too early in the calendar. Before that, though, as a reminder, subscribe. 38 subs away. That is it from the 5,000 mark as the Titans remain the clear-cut team to beat in the AFC South. If you have not already, and you want free videos almost every single day on the Titans and their news and rumors and everything else in between, hit the subscribe button right now. The Titans should be buyers this year at the trade deadline. I am Tom Downey, today's host. They're 5-2. The Colts and a backup quarterback are 3-4-1. The Jags are still the Jags, and the Texans remain the dumpster fire of the division. Tennessee's goal is not just to win this AFC South, it's to make noise, unlike last year, in the playoffs, and they do need to add some talent if they want to be a bit more aggressive this year. I do want to give some love to Malik Willis, the backup quarterback who stepped in for the injured Ryan Tannehill and won the football game. Did Malik Willis play out of his mind? No. Is it time to bench Ryan Tannehill? No, Willis didn't play that great, but he got the job done. Your job as a backup quarterback is to play just well enough to win the football game. And Willis did that. And again, a lot of credit does go to King Henry, make no mistake about it. But we will show Willis some love in the comments section. Everyone type 7 in the comments to show the young third-round pick some love. 1-0 as a starter in the NFL. Far from perfect. Still a long way to go if he's going to be the franchise guy. But he did his job to get the win as the backup QB. Let's talk trade targets now for the Tennessee Titans. Chase Claypool and wide receiver Jeudy. We'll hit both these guys, the former early round picks who are linked in trade rumors and both linked to the Titans from media and from the fans here at Titans Today. Nuclear XN 2.0 says we need to get Chase Claypool or Jeudy now. Shout out to Nuclear, the surprise shout out for that comment. And I get it. Receiver is an area of concern for this franchise with Treylon Burks banged up and Robert Woods being, he's Woods, right? Claypool brings some size. Now, I would wonder if he fits well enough with Burks. I want to use those guys as bigger bodied, great athletes at their size who can do some inside-outside stuff for you. Claypool's production has dipped in recent years. That should raise red flags. Hasn't been as good as he was in his first year. Quarterback and play calling probably to blame there. I've heard different things as to what Pittsburgh wants. There was one report of, hey, we want the Christian McCaffrey trade. No. There was a report of, you know what, we would settle for just a third. That's more doable for Tennessee. And Claypool's young enough, he would be a piece beyond just this season. You might move on from Robert Woods next year. Burks, Claypool, and if he ever has or gets rid of the drops and fumbles issue, Kyle Phillips, pretty intriguing young 1-2-3 punch. The same goes for Jeudy, who over his career, to be blunt, has been a bit of a disappointment. He's never put up the same level of production that the Broncos thought they were going to get. He hasn't been as good as CeeDee Lamb. He hasn't been as good as, it's certainly not Justin Jefferson. Other picks, better than Jalen Reagor at least, but other first-round picks in that same draft class. I don't know what Denver wants for him. The latest reports are that they're not going to give him away. I don't think a third gets it done with a second. 2 years of cheap team control. That does begin to intrigue me from that standpoint, if it would be enough to acquire Jeudy. So of these two receivers, who would you rather trade for if you were the Tennessee Titans? CC for Chase Claypool, JJ for Jeudy. It's the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes here on YouTube, cool, take advantage of it. Head down there and pick a receiver. A third option is wide receiver Brandin Cooks. Again, some conflicting information out there on the asking price, but Steven Crosio, or Croso, however you pronounce your last name, my friend, likes the idea. I think Titans' most likely trade target is going to be Brandin Cooks because they're at Houston this week, and they like targeting Texans players. Zach Cunningham stands out as one such name. Cooks last year was a 1,000-yard receiver despite issues on the offensive side with Davis Mills, who looks even worse this year, but that's a different conversation. Thanks, Houston. Cooks, the trade market is interesting. I think a leak more from the Texans' side was second-round pick or we're not going to trade him. A leak out of New York said, well, maybe a fourth-round pick. I think it might be closer to a second. The contract is an issue. There's an $18 million fully guaranteed salary next year, but Cooks is super cheap this season. So then you begin to question, okay, do you want to have the $18 million salary guaranteed next year? And Houston just paid Brandin Cooks. They're not going to give him away when this is a guy that has had 1,000 yards 3 times in the last 4 years and has pretty consistently been a 1,000-yard playmaker in his NFL career. He brings some speed, some vertical. That'd be a great addition to Tennessee, depending on the cost of a trade. We will keep you guys covered if and when the Titans make a trade this year. Stay updated with all the trade news and, of course, the rumors like we have today. Hit that big red button or the black and white button. YouTube is making some changes here. If it's just the red button, click it. You're subscribed. Black and white, click it. And then again, it'll prompt you for your notification setting. You want to pick all. Subscribe right now for more free Titans YouTube videos. Isaiah Wynn is next up here, the offensive lineman who is not a consistent player for the Patriots. And although I'm always doubtful about making trades with Bill Belichick, the handling of Isaiah Wynn is curious. He played pretty well previously as a left tackle, where the Patriots drafted him, where they plugged him in and started on that side of the football. And now he's bouncing around between guard and tackle. And I think all that inconsistency, all those changes of position and footwork and technique, I think have negatively impacted him. I think for the Titans, plug him in at left tackle. Put him where he belongs. Get Dennis Daly off the field. Here's what SB Nation, the Patriots site, wrote on Wynn. Given Wynn's issues in contract situation, and he said that in free agency in March, the Patriots moving him now would make sense. A lot would depend on how confident they are in fellow offensive tackles Marcus Cannon and Jeudy Kajusto. Well, they're not playing Wynn as a starter, so I guess that kind of answers that question. So would you trade for Isaiah Wynn? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off if you want to add that offensive lineman in the comments. William Jackson III, next up here, the Commanders, I almost said Patriots again. The Commanders cornerback, who I do very much believe is on the trade block in Tennessee. He's been up and down, especially as of late in his NFL career. He's had some issues in coverage. Probably not the type of player that Commanders thought they were going to end up getting. I think he can help an NFL team. The Titans right now are rolling hard with Roger McCreary, Christian Fulton. Based on some other moves, I wonder if Elijah Molden is about to make his return. Yeah, they didn't really use their number 3 corner was Terrence Mitchell. They're not using Caleb Farley. It's a different conversation for a different day. I have many thoughts on it. I am disappointed with his play and his usage so far. But I think corner is a bit of a need right now for this team. Amani Hooker's kind of playing some nickel. I'm fine with that. Jackson gives another outside option if they don't trust and or don't want to play Terrence Mitchell anymore, which I certainly do not. I would at least call about Jackson. The Commanders, though, might have to eat some of his base salary this year. So of those 5 names, who is your favorite trade target from today's video? Sound off and drop that name for me in the comments.